Sunday morning. Daylight savings time today. Lost an hour. Still out here going for a little bit of a recovery run. I'm exhausted. 10.01 miles, 8 minutes, 32 seconds per mile today, an active recovery day. A little bit fast probably for an active recovery day, but feeling relatively good. I was dreading the run a little bit. My legs were pretty shot from the day before. We ran 15 miles and change, which is the longest I've run in a long time. And so feeling pretty gummy in terms of how springy and lively my legs felt. But in terms of active recovery versus a rest day, why would someone take a day off versus having one of these recovery runs? I prefer having the recovery runs for a couple of reasons. And let me preface all this by saying I am not an orthopedist. I am not a physiologist. And I'm not even a coach. But this is how I understand rest days, active recovery. I like to think of it mentally. I know it's not quite the same, but I like to think of it as the difference between being injured and going to rehab, completely staying off, say, like a broken bone, versus going into physical therapy. That's kind of how I see recovery runs like this, is my legs are recovering, they're rebuilding, they're repairing, but they could still use some movement to kind of aid that process. It gets the blood flow moving, which the circulation is really important to the regenerative process, clearing things that need to be cleared out, bringing in things that need to be brought in. But the other way that I think of it is that recovery run, active recovery days like today, are important because they train other parts of our bodies. And so one of the things as far as marathon training that is important is being able to not deplete your energy reserves before you get to the end of the race, or hitting the wall, bonking, whatever you want to call it. And so I think that's not just a matter of making sure you carb up the night before the race, or if you've got the right number of gels. I think there's a specific kind of training that goes into that as well. And so having long runs on your weekend, on your Saturday or Sunday long run, are important. But I also think that other day on the weekend, having that active recovery day is also important. It kind of ties into the idea of lifetime miles or cumulative fatigue. All those kind of ideas I think are all dancing around or touching and looking at the same issue, kind of this, just different, slightly different ways. It's just building up different kinds of strength. I'm still working out exactly how to do it. And like I said, I probably ran today a little bit faster than I should have to kind of fit in with this idea of active recovery. But that's just what's in my mind. That's why I did the run that I did today and what I was thinking about going into it. Now, before I go, I do want to talk about today's charity runner for the day. It's Alison Rose. She's running the Boston Marathon very soon here, and she's doing it to raise money for Team Eye and Ear, which is the charity arm of the Massachussetts Eye and Ear. And their aim is to cure blindness, deafness, and diseases of the head and neck. Very important causes, things that highly impact not only our lives, but also our quality of life. So I was very happy to donate $70 to Alison's fundraising efforts, and I'll post links in the description in case you'd like to learn more. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?